everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a little makeup routine. It's been a long time since I've actually done a makeup routine, so I thought I would film my just super easy everyday makeup routine that is perfect if you have to wear masks too. This is a mask proof, it's super easy, it's really quick, it's beginner friendly, and you just look really, good and put together, and it takes you no time at all. But yeah, so I really hope you guys enjoy the video. Please make sure to like this video if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel if you are new here, and let's hop right into this everyday makeup routine. So we're gonna start out with the face, just because the eyes are kind of more customizable, but the face is really where I feel like these products specifically work really well just for your everyday makeup when you're wearing a mask. So when it comes to primer, I really feel like you can use really any primer that you want. I would just probably stay away from like silicone based primers, like the primers that feel like very oily but that are like supposed to like, fill in your pores, just because I feel like those have more of like a slippery texture and are not gonna like stick to your face as well. Typically I really go for just like a hydrating primer. This one is one of my favorites. It's really dirty, but this one is from Henriksen. It's their Banana Bright Face Primer. So the reason why I really like this for an everyday primer is because it has really good ingredients in it for your skin, and it has vitamin C. So I feel like if I'm going to be putting makeup on my face, especially like the base, I want it to be like, somewhat healthy for my skin. Not sure how true that is, but I feel like if I can give my skin any benefits while wearing makeup, I should. So yeah, this is a really great everyday primer. Okay, so for foundation, this foundation is definitely key for making your makeup stay all day. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. This is a very popular foundation. It's been around for years and years and years. I've used it for years. I absolutely love it. It's still not in focus, but it's so good. It makes your skin look amazing, and it's only, I think, like $6, which is even better. I have mine in the shade 228 Soft Tan. It might be a little bit dark for me right now, but this is actually the only shade that I have in this foundation right now, so we're just gonna hope that it works. But this foundation, I'm telling you guys, is amazing. If you are gonna be wearing a mask, I would definitely stay away from like dewy and glowy foundations, just because those are always tacky. They don't really have like a lot of stick on the skin. So definitely go for like a matte foundation and then add the glowiness back into your skin with like a powder highlighter, just because like when your foundation is very tacky, it transfers very easily, and it's gonna come right off under a mask. So this is really, really good for a great everyday foundation. I always apply mine with a beauty sponge. This one's by Real Techniques, and I'm just going to go ahead and bounce this in. And this is one of those foundations where like it is, yes, a pretty matte foundation, but I don't know, like my skin's pretty normal. I don't have like oily skin, and this doesn't like, like stick on your face like really heavy like some matte foundations do. This is a very good like breathable matte. Okay, so foundation is on. I actually don't apply foundation around my eyes just because I put concealer there, and I feel like it can get cakey if you like layer foundation and concealer, so I just usually avoid the eye area. So for concealer, now this is another key thing that 100% works so well with masks. The Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. With this on your nose, your makeup is not going anywhere. So I'm not gonna put too much of this on because a little bit of this goes a really, really long way. Like I said, we still want this makeup to be pretty like natural and lightweight. So I'm just going to put a few dots under my eyes. That's actually probably a little much. Definitely on my nose, because that's where your mask really hits. Cupid's bow, chin, why not? We'll just do a little bit on the forehead. Also with this concealer though, it does dry very quickly, so you have to work very fast with it. Like I was adjusting the zoom and it's kind of already drying down. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but my skin, like my foundation and my concealer, both look so good. It looks so flawless. Okay, so this next step is completely optional. It's a little bit much for an everyday makeup routine, but if you're someone that does wear a mask and you really want that almost kind of like full face makeup, I would recommend doing like a cream bronzer, just because the more layers that you have, the more it's gonna hold up against the mask. So you can even just do a little bit of cream bronzer, because we are going to go in with the powder, but just to kind of start warming up the skin and creating another layer in between your skin and the mask. Yeah, I really like to do this if I have the time. I don't always, do a cream bronzer because it's a little bit extra for an everyday makeup, but every once in a while, you just want to be a little extra. This is my crown brush. I don't know, just like a really dense brush like this works really well with cream products. Okay, so now it's time to set everything down. I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Translucent Setting Powder. This powder is really, really good. The only thing I don't love about it is that you have to, like, look how tiny the cap is, you know what I mean? And like you have to like dump the powder into the cap. So for under the eyes, I take my beauty sponge. I use this thing for everything. That's why it's like so like torn and gross. I take my translucent powder on my beauty sponge. Also, if you hear any rumbling, Devin is doing the dishes. Love him for that, but once again, the loudest thing that he could possibly do. But yeah, so I'm just taking this powder and really making sure to set my T-zone area. So I'm gonna set my eyes, my nose, and my mouth with this just because it's really gonna press the powder into the skin and it's not gonna make it look cakey. Just something about like using a sponge, you can really make sure that area is nice and set without making it look too cakey. Just, it's almost like foolproof with a beauty sponge. And then for the rest of my face, I'm just gonna take a big fluffy brush with it. Ooh, that was way too much powder in there. This one is the Morphe E41, and I'm just gonna, you know, this is a bad thing. Like, who wants that? I'm just going to set the rest of my face with this. Okay, so now it's time to bronze. My favorite bronzer that I've been loving lately is the Fenty Beauty Island Ting bronzer. These are amazing. I really love the color of this. It's the perfect combination of like warm, but not too warm. Like it still makes you look sun-kissed, but it doesn't look orange. Using my Morphe M530, I really, really need to clean my makeup brushes. They are way too bad. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on the usual areas. Now that bronzer's on, we are going to apply blush. I think I've used this blush in almost every single makeup tutorial since I've ever done makeup. It's just because it's so good. It's my favorite. I literally cannot find a blush that compares to this. I need to get a new one. I literally lost like the plastic cap on it. But this is the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso. It just has the perfect like luminosity to it to kind of add that glowiness back into the skin because our skin is very matte and I don't love a super, super matte look. My favorite brush to apply it is a stippling brush like this, just because like this, just because I feel like it just applies it so naturally, so evenly. So this one's by Wet n Wild. This is only like $2 or $3. It's super cheap. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of blush, kind of almost like right where I applied my bronzer, like a little bit farther back, just bringing it a little bit on the cheeks. I always like to add a little bit more blush too, just because I feel like blush fades. Like literally the second you walk out the door, it's gone. So I like to add a little bit more like when I'm getting ready, just so it lasts like a little bit longer. So for highlight, you guys, this highlight is so good. I've honestly never really heard of this makeup brand. It's very, very new to me. I don't know if it's a newer makeup brand, but the brand's Makeup Obsession. And I was a little iffy about it. I saw it in Target. I don't know, so I thought I'd try it. And I tried this highlighter. It's the Mega Honey Highlighter. And this highlighter, you guys, is so good. It looks like a baked highlighter, like it really wouldn't be that good. But it is amazing. It's beautiful for every day. I'm obsessed with it. It's so good. So I don't know. Yeah, it's just their highlighter. The shade is actually Mega Honey. I love like a really like gold champagne highlighter. This one is perfect. So I'm just applying a little bit on the tip of my nose and down my nose here. And you can see like even though the foundation is super matte, with the highlighter and the blush, I'm also gonna apply a little bit right here. You can even put a little bit on your forehead. Just you know, just put it everywhere. So that's pretty much for the skin. These products, like in combination with each other, they just work so well. They're so good, you guys. We're gonna move on to the eyes. Honestly, I just keep the eyes super, super simple. I don't really do a whole lot with the eyes. I feel like when I change products, it's always in my skin. But I'm just gonna go ahead and fix these eyebrows just because they are looking horrible. I think that's as good as they're gonna get for the amount of effort that I'm willing to put in right now. So for the eyes, I do a little bit of eyeshadow, and this palette, you guys, is so old. It's so beat, but for some reason, I just could not get away from this palette for like my everyday makeup. I'll literally just take a big fluffy brush like this, and I'll just dip into warm taupe, and I'll take a little bit of raw sienna, just barely a little bit, and I just run this in my crease. Just very, very lightly. And then for underneath the eyes, I do the same thing, except I only take warm taupe. So I'll just take a little bit of this and run this just right under my lash line, just to add a little bit of color down there. And then I'll also take a little bit of Cypress Umber right here, which is like the really pretty dark chocolate brown. I'm gonna take this on like a little teeny pencil brush and just put this on the outer corner of my eye, like literally right in my lash line. Like I just kind of stamp it and then just blend it out, just on the outer corner there. If I'm feeling crazy, sometimes I'll do a little bit of an eyeshadow wing, so I'm gonna do one really quickly just to show you guys. I'm gonna take a little bit of Cypress Umber, which is that chocolate brown, and just this really like little brush. It's like a little angled brush. It's by Sedona Lace. It's like the perfect, I think it's an eyeshadow or an eyebrow brush, but it's really good for like these. So I just do it like literally the tiniest, babyest wing. I have very like turned down eyes, so I like to just do a little baby wing just so like with mascara it kind of lifts the corners, just because my eyes, I don't know, I wish I had like the really pretty almond shaped eyes, but I don't know, my eyes are just, you know, I'm not gonna promise that it's always gonna be good or easy. Sometimes I regret it. Most of the time I regret it. Not the most even things in the world, but just because they're so subtle, like they'll be fine. So this Sephora Lash Craft Big Volume Mascara, hands down the best mascara that I've ever used. I have the Too Faced Better Than Sex, I have the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and I hardly reach for these anymore just because this mascara is so good. I'm probably running out of it. But it is amazing. And it's like, it's Sephora brand, so it's not like a high-end price, but it's also not drugstore. I think this mascara runs like, it's like $14 or $15. It's really not too bad, but the volume that it gives your lashes, it's so black. It just lasts all day. It's not gonna end up under your eyes, and it just makes your lashes look so good. Oh my gosh, I do that every single time. I always get mascara on my eyelid. I just cannot ever like just not do it. So I got mascara all over my face, but we're gonna let it dry, move on to the lips, and then we'll wipe it off. For the lips, honestly, I just keep it super simple. I usually just wear chapstick when I'm out in public. Like I don't know, I'm just that person. Like I never really apply lip products. I think like chapstick or like I have like, yeah, like this looks really, really good on the lips. But obviously I know not everyone wants to do that. We wanna add a little bit of color. So in that case, I would go, I don't know, I always just do like a gloss, even with a mask. I know that's not very mask friendly, but just a gloss with like a little bit of color. Super easy to apply throughout the day. So I love a gloss like this. This one is by Bare Minerals. I use it all the time. It's in the shade Tantalize, and I think it's like the perfect color. It's almost like your lips, but better type of gloss. Boom, and we are done. We just have to wipe off all this mascara. If you ever get mascara on your eyelid, do not wipe it off when it's wet, because that's when it smudges. So I just take my eyeshadow brush and just go back over it. It'll usually wipe away. All right guys, well that wraps up my super easy everyday makeup routine. Once you get in the hang of this, honestly, this takes me like 15 minutes. It takes me no time to get ready in the morning. You still look put together, you still look really fresh, really fun, but you're ready to go out. If you have to wear a mask, you're ready to wear a mask, and you just look really, I don't know, it just looks really good, like you still tried, but it only takes you like 10 to 15 minutes. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, all the products that I use will be linked in the description box down below, so that way if you guys want to get any, they're super easy to find. Also, if you have any product recommendations that you guys love for your everyday makeup, definitely leave it in the comments down below. I'm sure we'd all love to know. I know I love trying out like new products all the time, especially that you guys recommend, so definitely leave that down below too. But other than that, that's pretty much all I have. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.